Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Radiant Tale continuing Leon's route. We're trying to figure out our feelings for him. So, coming to a decision was a good thing. Oh, we just saw Pashalia too. Unfortunately, the crammed schedule looming over my head didn't give me time to mull over things at my own pace. The ceremony was approaching steadily, and my workload increased by the minute. I confirmed security measures for the big day with Aleste ahead of the security forces. Leon and I went around the city's inns and requested the merchants from various cities write up lists for of their wares. Today had been another day of working from the crack of dawn to the dead of night. That evening, I'm so tired. I arrived at Cheers after their closing hours and face planted on the table. Ugh. I thought I had relatively good stamina, but today was too much. Well, you're even busier than usual after all. And thanks for all your hard work, Spacey. When I heard there was an appointment at 5 in the morning, I almost thought I was dreaming. Mm-hmm. Speaking of, work ended late yesterday too, didn't it? You okay? Did you get any sleep? Managed to sleep for around 2 hours. I sluggishly raised my head, muttered that, and let my face fall onto the table once again. His confession-like speech was still vivid in my mind, and talking to Leon made my heart stir. But because I was drowning in work, I didn't even have the energy to feel awkward around him. Was that a curse or a blessing? You look chipper, though, Leon. Weird. You did even more work than me. And don't forget that I'm a fae. At the end of the day, I have loads more stamina than a human. Anyway, your work's done for today, so get some rest. I'll make something hot for you to drink. Okay, thanks. I'll help you Nope, not today. I had to muster up all my energy just to lift my head, but a hand gingerly pressed it back down. The warmth it radiated made my mind turn blank. There was a rustle as Leon seemed to shrug. A mere 2 hours doesn't count as a good night's rest at all. He stroked my hair gently. Ugh! Don't stop. Don't. Period. Stop. Period. But also don't stop. I'll head off and prep some tea. You close your eyes and get what rest you can, okay? Oh, sweet. Patting my head. Leon disappeared behind the counter, not even giving me time to respond. I accepted his goodwill and stole furtive glances at him as my eyelids lowered. It was just the two of us right now. A golden opportunity for a heart-to-heart. But I don't know what I may blurt out if I try to talk in this state. I'll just rest a bit first. Then Spacey? A voice was calling me. Wait, did you really fall asleep? You must have been utterly spent, huh? The voice calling my name sounded worried, but also cheery, and so very warm. Well now, what to do? If it were possible, I'd leave you in peace until morning, but I bet Rady would march in and make a giant fuss. His troubled musing seemed really cute for some reason. Corners of my lips twitched, my head half in the clouds. You just giggled, didn't you? You're actually awake, aren't you? Come on, if you can hear me, rise and shine. You'll catch a cold if you sleep here. Part of me wanted to wake up. There were countless things I wanted to say to the person speaking, after all. But my eyelids were so heavy. My whole body felt like lead. I wondered whether this was a dream, reality, or an illusion, but I couldn't figure it out. Then, sheesh, what am I supposed to do with you? Okay, if you keep being a sleepyhead. A voice that held a hint of joy whispered into my ears, and then, I'm gonna be a bit naughty. Oh! Uh-oh! Every part we get a CG, and I love it, and this one's beautiful. Something warm tenderly enveloped me. Look at how close he is leaning to us. Oh my. I cracked cracked open my eyes just a sliver and a familiar face came into view. I blinked slowly, then gazed at the smiling man. A single lock of his purple-black hair tickled my nose. His eyes were normally kind, if a little mischievous, and now they were brimming with mirth. Oh, look at him just leaning in over us. Oh, it's beautiful. Morning, Spacey. Seeing his happy face, I responded with a smile of my own, then... Z's. Okay, she fell asleep. I gave up and closed my eyes. Wait, hang on, what's with that? Falling asleep again? For real? I'm sleepy. Oh, he's so adorable. No, seriously. Aren't you supposed to act a bit shy and shove me away? Or get mad saying, geez, what are you doing? But if I lost to your drowsiness, am I not alluring enough or something? Come on, don't hit on me. Even in my dreams. If I let my guard down for one moment, I'm gonna lose. Hey, are you in there? I'm not. Leave a message at the beep. This conversation is adorable. That's what a sleeping person would say. Ugh, seriously. You know, if you're that defenseless, you can't go crying to anyone if a big bad wolf captures your lips. Come on, if you don't like that idea, reject me properly. Pump up your cheeks like always. Go on. Dislike. The word didn't sit right with me, and half asleep I felt the urge to speak. Did I dislike this? Whenever Leon had expressed his affections, I disregarded him flippantly. I never thought he liked me for real, not even once. That was back then. What about now? Now that I know his feelings are genuine, do I still dislike his advances? Do I really? How odd. I don't really... The stream made it easier to tell. I don't really dislike it. Honest words rushed out of my mouth. Huh? What? Huh? I mean, it's a kiss, you know? Do you know what that means? Something you can only share with someone who's super duper precious to you. I shut my eyes once again, ignoring the voice that whined for me to wake up. Then I heard the seemingly restless Leon scratch his head. Okay then, I'll take that as a yes. If you don't tell me to stop, I'll kiss you for real, you hear me? But only an evil guy takes advantage of someone when they're asleep. For real. I like that we keep flashing, but this is the, this is the shirtless, Genius CG for Leon right now, because it just keeps going away and coming back and going, coming. So, it's, staying forever, and I love it. It's adorable. Leon, you've always been... Oh. You're such an evil, bad, unfair guy. While I chuckled, Leon audibly gulped. Oh my god, look how close they're leaning into his fucking lips, Jesus. Then, as if stealing his resolve, he slowly leaned toward my lips. Okay, time out! This ends here! Leon shouted this right in front of me as I leaned closer to him in a daze. He shook his head fiercely, almost as if he were trying to dissuade himself. We started leaning, he's leaning in, and, we start to lean in, and he's like, whoa! Yeah, I can't do this, it's not right. Spacey, you're way too unguarded. If someone else were in my shoes, you really couldn't blame them for kissing you after what you just did. You got that? Leon spoke quickly as he rambled, then pulled away from me. Because he was so tempted. He's such a coward. Good boy, because, someone's half asleep, you really shouldn't kiss them, even if they say yes, they're half asleep. You know what I mean? But it's funny, because she's like, yeah, no, kiss me. She was going to lean in, and he's like, whoa, you can't, and then he is, because you're chickening out. Oh. Because you don't know, how to deal with me actually liking you back. That's kind of cute. He left. If you're that tired, how about you get some sleep here? I'll contact Brady since you definitely can't. Might as well get him to come fetch you. In any case, I'll go prep a bed, so give me a minute. Leon headed to a guest room as if someone were giving chase. I stared after him absently. The presence that had surrounded me was gone, and the fog gradually cleared from my mind. He ran away because he was absolutely going to kiss you, and then was like, no, this is wrong, and I can't resist you, and oh my god, you were going to let me? He's chickening out a little. It's kind of cute. I was at Cheers. What? I'd come here with Leon and had fallen asleep due to fatigue. As the gears of my mind began to turn again, I combed over the last few moments with conscious thought and, if you're that defenseless, you can't go crying to anyone if a big bad wolf captures your lips. Leon had breathed that statement into my ear. And then what did I say again? Ah! Recalling the words I'd blurted, I reflexively bolted upright out of my chair. Sorry for the wait, Spacey. The bed's ready. Do you want a quick bite before you snooze? I can whip up something light real quick. No, I'm fine. I'm awake now, so I'll head home. Oh, really? I'd sprung up in a panic. Seeing this, Leon stared at me, dumbfounded. Well, it's good you can make it home by yourself, but let me escort you to Lieber at least. I'm fine. Seriously. Yeah, I'll head to the main street. Yeah, okay, see you later then. Poor thing. He's so confused. Forgetting all about my fatigue, I raced out of Cheers like my life depended on it. I ran toward Lieber at top speed, my apple-red face hidden by the cloak of night. Yeah, man, this is the one that won't let go. I love it. I love it. I let out nonsensical wails as I buried myself in my bed. I can't believe myself! 2 days had passed since I'd acted like an absolute clown in front of Leon while half asleep. During the day, my schedule was filled with work, so I had no time for a mental breakdown. But whenever I had time to myself at night, the memories came rushing back and I'd writhe around wildly, just like this. I can't even look Leon in the face now. If we saw each other in my current state, I was willing to bet I'd act like a weirdo. And following that would be a hail of missteps. I raised my head and let out a big, heaving sigh. Luckily, I hadn't come across Leon since the incident due to my large workload. But it's not like I can avoid him forever. Oh, okay, so this is like days later or whatever, at least. We lived in the same city. We were coworkers now, too. No matter how awkward I felt, I had to face him one day. And that day would be very soon. Yeah, I decided I'd consider our relationship seriously. How could I forget? Even if his feelings are a mystery, I think you can take a good look at your own emotions. Recalling Pashalia's words, I sucked in a deep breath. It's time to do exactly that. I had to reflect on myself, on my own heart. Let's do this! I calmed down after psyching myself up in a soft voice and steadily recalled my emotions on that day. What sort of feelings did I have for Leon? To be honest, the answer was already evident. I couldn't even feign ignorance. No, I'd been half asleep. No, because I'd been half asleep. What I'd said that day must have been my true feelings from the bottom of my heart. If you're that defenseless, you can't go crying to anyone if a big bad wolf captures your lips. Come on, if you don't like that idea, reject me properly. Puff up your cheeks like always. Go on. I pondered the question once again. Did I dislike what he'd been about to do? I knew it. I'm not against it at all. Even thinking about it now, I arrived at the same answer as that day. Quite the opposite, actually. I'd been disappointed back then when the fateful event hadn't happened. You're the most special person in my life. Even if the nature of my feelings for you has changed since I first met you, you've always been special to me. At the time, I'd only felt confused and lost. The memory now made my heart flutter like a butterfly. A gentle, brilliant, and warm emotion welled up. I like Leon. Saying it out loud was all it took. That fact sunk in easily as if a missing piece of my heart had finally clicked into place. It was as if these budding emotions had been there from the beginning. I looked up at the moon through the window. Now that I'd come to terms with my feelings for him, a pressing question surfaced. I know I confessed my feelings, but I'm not looking for an answer from you. You're special. You're a girl I really like, but just knowing you exist is enough for me. I don't need a response. Why did Leon say that? He'd one-sidedly voiced his affections for me, yet his demeanor had implied that he'd had no expectations of receiving any reciprocated feelings. Does List's past bother him after all? Or is there a different reason? The question had me stumped. If you want to know, you gotta ask the man himself. Just like Rady had said, it wasn't something I could figure out by myself. But if you don't like what's happening, don't overthink it. Don't confront him right away. If what you want's an answer, get it out of him, even if it means throwing a few punches. That's probably the best solution. We need to talk. I don't need a response. Why did Leon say that? I wanted to see him and ask him directly. Even if he claimed he didn't need an answer, I didn't feel the same way. I don't want things to stay this way. That's why. I glanced at my schedule. Like always, my days were jam-packed and I barely had any free time. Even so, I was going to see Leon tomorrow, no matter what. Ginia, who'd been working with me, had been shocked at the speed in which I'd finished my work. I requested the rest of the day off, then headed to Cheers immediately. Unfortunately, my fiery determination was met with disappointment as Leon happened to be out. I then hurriedly went around to the places he frequented one by one, but there's no sign of him. When I wasn't looking for him, he'd usually take initiative and call out to me. But he chose now of all times to be as elusive as a ghost. I walked down a narrow alley dejectedly. Where did Leon run off to? Of course, the fault was my own, since I hadn't made an appointment in advance. But what little courage I'd managed to muster withered away every step I took. Withered away with every step I took, well. I've looked practically everywhere. Is he off in another city, perhaps? Leon made frequent visits to the branches of Cheers in each city. There was a chance he wasn't even in our theater right now. If that were the case, then searching for him any longer would just be wasting my own time. He would always find me. He'd always come popping up out of nowhere. Yet when I tried to initiate contact, all I found was failure. I really don't know anything about what Leon's up to when he's not with me, huh? His status as a fae beast, his family situation, and even his past. I'd only learned all of those recently. I knew it was belated, but he suddenly felt so distant. I dragged out a long sigh. If I returned his feelings, would I get to learn more about him? Usually, yeah. Perhaps my mistake was being too in my own head. Someone's saying, are you looking for someone? I noticed the shadow that stood before me at the last minute. Ah, List. May I help you? His cold gaze from a few days ago still haunted me, and I tensed up. List, on the other hand, smiled from ear to ear as he stared at me. If it's Leon you seek, he isn't in this city. He mentioned that he was heading out to procure mystic tools today. Oh, he is? Yes, I believe he is in Kalida. Thank you for informing me. Well then, please excuse me. Please don't be so hasty. Surely you don't have any urgent business? To tell you the truth, I would like your help for a little something that will benefit Leon. I tried to cut things short, but List detained me with a wry smile. Ignoring him after hearing that was a struggle. I halted and tilted my head. My help? For Leon. I am certain you are aware, but my younger brother is somewhat naive. For example, despite having no evidence to back him up, thinks that falling for a human is fine. Silly, isn't it? Yeah, you know what? You're still being a bitch. You! A chill ran down my spine. Though a smile was plastered on List's face, his eyes were cold as ice. I almost felt as if a wild beast had set its sights on me. My instincts screamed at me, and I spun on my heels and started running. I need to get out of here. List, however, remained still, as if he hadn't even seen my reaction. So I would like your cooperation. I need to teach Leon a lesson about how cruel reality is, after all. It's like you're gonna kidnap me, really? His serene voice was oddly scathing, and it pierced my ears like a knife, even as it faded behind me. He's not going to chase me? I dashed down the alley, round one corner and then another. I was bewildered at the fact that I'd escaped safely somehow, and I slowed down just a tad. Why? The moment I'd carelessly let my guard down turned out to be my downfall. Okay. Ah! Something flew down at me from above. The ground trembled from the impact. I will not allow you to escape. A giant beast stood before me. It looked like a replica of Leon's beast form, which I witnessed once upon a time. Unlike Leon's black fur, however, this wolf possessed fur of pristine white, like snow. Are you List? There was no answer. He opened his huge jaws and lunged at me. Ah! His jaw closed, holding me captive between his teeth. Let me go! I squirmed, trying to get away, but I barely achieved anything in my trapped state. Let me go was very not impassioned, as it should have been, sorry. He scoffed at me scornfully before releasing me and making a triumphant declaration. I shall give you one warning. I would advise against struggling and resisting. If I accidentally forget my strength, my teeth will sink right into your flesh. The white wolf opened his mouth again with glee and seized me in his jaws. Then don't bite me! Slowly, he clenched his sharp fangs together. Ah! Just before their pointed tips could pierce my skin, his jaw relaxed and he let out a throaty chuckle. Well then, I am counting on your help. It is for my cute little brother, after all. After finishing a business deal at the Kalita branch without incident, I returned to Arthur. And then... Leon! On my way to Cheers, a bubbly voice from behind stopped me. Oh, okay, it's one of them. I didn't know who it was, so. Huh? Filio? And you too, Ion? It's been ages. What brings you guys here? I heard there's a festival soon, so I came to have fun in the capital. Then I stumbled into Ion. Indeed. We were just on our way to Cheers to catch up. My. Thank you very much for your patronage. Please enjoy. We exchanged friendly banter, and I suggested that they drop by later too. Miss Spacey would be elated. Walking side by side, we headed to Cheers. And our joyful mood changed dramatically the moment we arrived. You're not open yet? No, we're supposed to be open. Though it was during operating hours, the pub was engulfed in silence. Not a single guest was in sight. The place was completely deserted. Is it because we just opened the shop? No, it was obvious that the staff hadn't been allowing guests in. Though there wasn't a closed sign on the door, the doorbell that chimed when guests entered was switched off. What's going on? Did something happen? Deciding to question the staff members, I peered behind the counter. The noise we made must have alerted them because one ran over in a hurry. Leon! Hey, what's going on? It's way past opening time. Let's just... What? Spacey was kidnapped? According to the staff, List had come over during prep and left a message for me. I've taken Spacey. You want her back in one piece, come find me. Leaving only those words behind, List had promptly disappeared. The staff members were alarmed and had been discussing whether they should make a report to the security forces. That was when we happened to arrive. Ugh. I was too optimistic. I let my guard down because he's my brother. List knows I have feelings for Spacey. I should have been much more cautious. Long life in human society seemed to have numbed me. Fanfare race treasure familial bonds. That was the nice, idealized description. But if you looked at it another way, it meant that we were extremely narrow-minded toward anyone who didn't count as family. Especially if they were of another race. Top priority right now is saving Spacey. I like the fact that we gotta get rescued. I hurriedly turned around to face the door. But then, someone's hand wrapped around my arm, forcing me to stop as they told me to wait. Do you plan on going alone? Vilio and Ian glared at me with fiery eyes. We cannot sit around and do nothing after hearing that she's in danger. Right? I know the strength of a Fenrir. If he bites her or so much as flicks her with his claws, she won't come out unharmed. That's why we need to save her as quickly as possible. I'm sure I can catch up to a Fenrir if I travel by sky. I shall accompany you. Vilio, may I ride on your back? He is Leon's brother, but if he has intentions of harming her, we should consider the worst-case scenario and... Wait, I'm sorry, but... I called out to the pair, shook my head, and apologized deeply. I know very well she's a precious teammate to you guys. My family's the cause of all this. Can't apologize enough. But please allow me to deal with this incident. I'm the one List's waiting for. Are you going to be lenient just because he is your brother? He has kidnapped her. Even if he is the family of an acquaintance, I do not support leniency for what he has done. Spirit almost buckled under the pressure of the apex fae and the powerful gladiator. But I faced them head on and shook my head once again. I'm not asking this out of sentiment. I have a good reason to suggest it. My brother's in a fragile mental state right now. I'm his family. I can confidently declare that he's gone berserk. If the two of you provoke him, he might actually lose it and injure her for real. And so you wish to go alone? I got a good guess as to List's motivations. I'm sure that List wants me to change my mind. After all, the List I knew was a kind soul who would rather deal with his wounds alone if the alternative meant harming others. He plans on using her as leverage for negotiations with me. I'm certain that he won't hurt her brashly. It should be safer for her if I head there alone rather than have strangers intervene. I knew what the pair were trying to say. I could practically feel it on my skin. They were circus teammates that had bonds deep enough to last a lifetime. She was very precious to them. They were worried, wanted to save her, and they couldn't turn a blind eye. I felt the same way. No, I can declare that my feelings are even stronger than theirs. There was a long silence. We're wasting time here, guys! I could be dying! We can trust you, right? Amelia was the one who spoke first. Can. My response was short but determined. Are you sure, Vilio? If he says we can trust him, I will. At the very least, I can tell that Leon cares about Spacey from the bottom of his heart. Thank you, Vilio. But remember this, if you allow her to get so much as a scratch, I'll turn you into a roast wolf. Also, I won't interfere, but I'll follow you and stay nearby. That way I'm ready to act if anything unexpected happens. Right. This is a kidnapping at the end of the day. I shall ask for some of the security forces to be dispatched as well. Sound good to you? I gave them a nod. Then I dashed across the city in one go, running toward the place where List waited, a single goal in mind. Save the woman I love. Now then, this should be far enough. Indeed, it is more comfortable outside of the city. That place is so full of humans that I cannot help but feel dispirited. After lowering me onto the ground, List returned to his human form and shrugged. We traveled a while after leaving Arthur and ended up in a silent meadow. He released me and I staggered to my feet while glaring at him. So, why did you take me to a place like this? It seems that you are rather slow on the uptake. I remember saying earlier that I wanted your help. You will be my sacrifice. Or perhaps bait for teaching Leon a lesson about reality. You can't just do that so one-sidedly. I voiced my objections, and the instant I tried to take a step closer to him... Wind blew from the ground near my feet, violently pushing me backward. What's this? A wall of wind? You could say it is something like a makeshift cage. It would be rather troublesome if you ran away. Didn't think Leon's route would be where we get caged. But here we are. It might be a wind cage, but it's still a cage. And Leon's not doing it, but it is still a cage! in Leon's route, and that was not what I had on my bingo card. But don't worry. As long as you don't move around carelessly, you will not suffer any injuries. Liz spoke with a smile before quietly reaching out to me. He grabbed my chin and forced me to look at him, staring piercingly into my eyes. I have one request for you before Leon arrives. What? Could you please break up with Leon? Liz spat every word, his glare that of a feral beast. I should have told you before that a human lover will only poison him. Even if you were fooled by the drug called love at first, you will crash into the walls of power, culture, and lifespan, then fall. In that case, those from differing races shouldn't be together to begin with. Humans should stay with humans. Likewise for Fae. This is like really racist. We don't like this sentiment, sir. You humans, even if your relationship falls apart, you can simply look for a new love, can't you? He ended by telling me to hurry it along and throw away my feelings before anything worse happened. Also, I can't break up with Leon, we're not in a relationship yet. His tone sounded almost self-deprecating, and in response I said, we're not together. That's not your decision! We're not together. I mean, that's true, but that's also like, we're not together. That's almost denying our feelings, but that's not your decision to make, bitch, even if we're not together. You don't have the right to tell me what to do. So, hell yeah! You're wrong. Because we might not be together, but I love him, so. What? I turned the fiercest glare I could manage onto List, who looked stunned. I have to admit that a relationship between different races is a challenge, like you said. But so what? You can't just turn off your heart or feelings because someone tells you to. The man before me could kill me with a single claw. He was powerful, and I was puny. Something insignificant like that wasn't going to erase these burning emotions. My feelings are mine alone. They aren't something for you to decide. Hearing my response, List growled, but it sounded more like a frustrated groan. Fine then, in that case. He grimaced, face tensing as he raised his hand. That was when... Spacey! A piercing voice became a violent gust that swept over us and flung List backwards. The source was a young man who was out of breath, chewing hard on his lip. Leon! Ah, you've come, Leon. That was much faster than I expected. What the hell is this, List? I just warned you about pulling something weird. I said that if you hurt Spacey, I won't forgive you, even if you're my own brother. And that is why I have not hurt her. Not yet, at least. As for whether she remains in one piece after this, well, that will depend on how obedient you are. What are your demands, then? You want me to hate humans or something? I'm only trying to make you understand the rift between humans and our kind. Liz turned his gaze to me before continuing in a subdued voice. You should take this opportunity to drill it into your head, too. And not just Leon. The seemingly happy-go-lucky shopkeeper of a random general store who talks and smiles carefreely with you all the time. Is in truth a fearsome being beyond your understanding. We've already seen him in his wolf form, and we know. Upon uttering that last syllable, towering white wolf tensed all four limbs before lunging at me. Trapped in the cage of wind, I can only watch as his claws, large enough to rival short swords, cut the air over my head. Stop right there! Not a second later, a black wolf charged in from the side, sending the white wolf flying, because he did this on purpose, he's gonna make Leon turn it, even though he first tried. You don't know what he looks like. It's like, no, I've already seen him in his wolf form, whatevs. He's like, oh, and now he's like, oh, I'm gonna make him fight me, so then you're gonna be scared of him, and it's like, I'm not gonna be scared of him because I know he's protecting me, and you instigated this, and I'm scared of you, not because, oh my god, you're a monster, because you're acting like an asshole. If you just popped up and showed up, I might be like, oh, dear God, okay, you scared me jumping out as a wolf, but if you weren't going to hurt me, I wouldn't call you a monster. I'm calling you a monster because you're acting like a monster. There's a difference. Your girlfriend, you saved her, she called you a monster. That was rude. If you attacked her like you're attacking me, then I understand why she called you that. But you're acting like one. Now, Oh my god, we get a wolf CG! If I didn't stop you just now, she would have definitely gotten hurt. List, are you serious about dragging her into all this? I love that we are getting a Leon Wolf CG. I believe I have said this many times already. Will not stop until you listen. I love this. This is amazing. Black and white. Two contrasting wolves look like mirror images of each other. Yeah, black, but he's more purpley. They roared in unison, air whipping past them explosively. Although we did say that before, his like black purple hair. His hair's so black it's like violet hued, which, so. Invisible blades of wind strummed the space between them like a lethal instrument. Although Rady's hair is supposed to be neon pink and it's red, but whatever. One wolf weaved between the gaps and leapt first. The white wolf list. Oh. Leon, you're bleeding! I'm fine. Sharp fangs sunk into Leon's neck. Blood splattered across the grass like scarlet ink. Not caring in the least, however, Leon shook List off and slammed the white wolf's head against the ground. A little brother who rebels against his elder brother needs some discipline, it seems. With every clash of the two towering wolves, the ground shook, and deafening slams filled the air. It was terrifying, but also divine and solemn somehow. I could only hold my breath. My feet were rooted to the spot. Well, you're in a wind cage, too, so it's not like you could run. Listen well, Leon. Humans are different from us. Gentle caress is enough to tear them apart. A warm hug is enough to smash this fragile, fleeting race. List's howl brought forth violent, swirling gusts. Wind arrows were fired in my direction. Leon used his own body as a shield, and he grimaced with agony before letting out a sharp whine. Sharing a lifetime with such weak beings is nothing but a futile endeavor. So what if she didn't change after learning her identity? That may be true for now. She'll abandon you one day, one way or another. That's the undeniable truth. I will never! In this route. But, to be fair, man harem. Leon! Frustration welled up in my chest. I wanted to deny List's words, but the reality was that I was nothing but baggage. Locked in this cage, I couldn't even move an inch. All I could do was stand there and watch as Leon protected me. We were equals. If I were born as a Fenrir, just like Leon, perhaps this would never have happened. I cast my eyes down, biting my lip, but then... You're wonderful the way you are. Leon, who stood before me like an unyielding guardian, gave me a radiant smile that didn't even hint at a trace of pain. A radiant smile coming from a wolf is probably terrifying, to be fair. He's in wolf form. Human. Oh, that's Leon. Human? Fenrir? It doesn't matter at all. My special someone is you and you alone. I didn't fall for you because you're a human. I fell in love with you because you're you. Categories like human and Fenrirs are nothing but superfluous labels. I can read. Leon had once said that a Fenrir's love was passionate and overwhelming. I now realized he was completely right. The emotions he had for me were so full and heavy that they were too much for my frail shoulders to carry. I can't read. That fact brought me joy, but it was also suffocating, and the next thing I knew, my vision was blurry with tears. Why won't you listen to me? You need to realize that there's no happy future if you fall in love with her. The two wolves clashed once more in a flash of black and white. List clearly had the upper hand. Despite that fact, List seemed extremely anguished at the same time. I shouldn't be surprised. List wasn't attacking his younger brother out of hatred. From a bystander's point of view, he was forcing his skewed opinion on Leon. But at the core of his actions was an earnest wish. List didn't want his brother to suffer like he had. Leon was aware of this, which is why he couldn't bear to push List away with his full strength. Make no mistake, the measure of a human's love is nothing like a Fenrir's. Love is a fickle, fleeting illness to humans at best. No matter how hard they fall, it will all be gone when they stand back up. With the passage of time, they'll seek out a new beloved. Can their devotion even compare? The moment we give our heart to another, we're bound to them for decades, centuries. Liz charged forward, ramming into Leon and sending him flying high into the air. Leon twisted his body in midair before he landed on his feet. His eyes narrowed, not with anger, but heartbreak. I know what you mean, List. We're different from the moment of our birth, and that might apply to the nature of our feelings too. But that isn't because she's a human and I'm a Fenrir. Your experience is your own. It's wrong to assume that it'll apply to all humans and all Fenrirs. See, seems that all attempts to persuade you are futile. List howled at the heavens. The tone wasn't one of aggression. Instead, it sounded like one of sorrow. He seemed to be manipulating the wind with his howl because the surrounding scenery grew distorted for a moment. In that case, I need to beat it into you just like I thought. With that, well, you thought he was going to give up, but nope. Countless blades of wind coalesced and cascaded over me like rain. Spacey! Just like last time, Leon charged forward and threw himself between the incoming attack and me. He was a lone wolf before a storm. Even if he wanted to, he couldn't block them all. Feels like a bad ending, but I mean, one of the blades that slipped past his frame grazed my arm. Blood dripped down in a crimson trail. The wound itself was a mere cut, barely worth any attention. But when Leon saw it, his eyes widened. He stared at the scarlet stream in a daze. Easy, you're hurt. Oh, I'm fine. It's just a small scratch. Most importantly... Leon? He almost looked like he'd fallen into some kind of trance. Blood. Wolf. Are we going there? Dark flame burned in the black wolf's eyes. His panting was erratic and shallow. Are we gonna tell, like, he's got, like, some, like... Or is he just so angry now? List! Oh, he's pissed. Leon's thunderous roar rent the air itself, which shuddered under its force. His force. I told you I wouldn't forgive you if you harmed her, even if you are my brother. His bloodlust was so intense that it almost felt like a real dagger poised to strike as he sprinted, crushing the earth with every step. You are my enemy! He kicked the ground hard, leaping high into the air and swooping down on List. His huge claw swung down. I hope he doesn't actually kill his own brother, because this would be traumatic. Ha! For some reason, List's lips were pulled into a quirk. The next moment, the towering wolf transformed back into a human. What? Huh? The battle was suddenly between a giant wolf and a puny human. As a human without claws, fangs, or even protective fur, List stood there helplessly as sharp claws came for him. Naturally... No! Blood splattered violently into the air like a grotesque confetti, dotting the meadow with crimson speckles. He did it on purpose. He's like, oh, good, I'm going to hurt her. You're going to lunge at me. I'm going to turn back into a human. You'll kill me, and then she'll realize what an awful monster you are. But he was manipulated into this, That's not fair. Why did you... Is that not obvious? It was a demonstration. After all, I learned you were so foolish that no words can get through your thick skull. Anger rapidly vanished from Leon's eyes as he was faced with the scarlet scenery. That's sad. Though his body was splattered all over with blood, Liz stood as if nothing had happened and smiled. Oh, that's true. Even though he's in a human body, he's probably got more, like, resistance to it. Liz, you're bleeding! Oh, that. Don't worry. Mere wounds like these will eventually heal on their own. After all, it seems that Leon held back at the last moment when his claws reached me. So human. May I ask for your opinion after seeing the power of us Fenrirs with your own eyes? List's expression didn't waver as he gazed at me this time. He thinks that that's going to change my mind. I think you're an ass that doesn't make me hate Leon for what he did. Imagine, what if you had been the person standing here, not me? I would never have pissed him off so much. Your life would have been snuffed out instantly. Fenrir's and humans aren't created equal, regardless of how hard you try. Just as it had been for me. I'm sorry, List. I loved you. I wanted to be with you for the rest of my life. But no matter how hard I try, I can't forget how terrifying you were that day. Even if we go on to become husband and wife, I know that some part of me will be scared of you forever. What if I talk back to you? What if I upset you somehow? What if you use your power to make a point? These thoughts haunt me. That shows that she has no trust or faith in you, and that's awful. That has nothing to do with you. That's on her. Like, being scared because he turned into a beast, and then, like, you're like, holy fucking shit. I get it. But you don't trust him enough? Like, has he ever gotten angry or mean or pissed off in the years you've been together? Where you're afraid of his rage? Where you're like, you get angry, and then, like, you have an anger management issue, and now that I know that you're this, like, Fae beast, now I'm concerned. Then yeah, okay, that's legit. But if in all the years you've been together, he's never once ever indicated that he ever has an anger management problem, never gotten pissed off, then I think that he can control it. You know what I mean? So please. I didn't know what was on his mind as he let out that subdued whisper. The information was privy to List alone. But because of that, hey, List, you were worried about me too, huh? I chose to voice my own opinion. Excuse me? I don't know what happened between you and your ex, but I'm sure that you're still knee-deep in love with her, even now. That's the reason you're filled with so much pain and regret. You keep saying human this, human that, but in your heart you care because the person you like is a human too. List fell silent. Leon, who'd returned to his human form, approached him. Thanks, List. I'm touched by your deep concern for me. However, your pain is yours alone, just as my feelings for her are mine alone. You said it yourself. We Fenriers can't let go once we give our hearts to someone. For a while there was only stillness. When List finally found his voice, it was a hint fatigued. I cannot believe this. My brother is as stubborn as a mule. No, perhaps we're alike in that way. List let out a long sigh and snapped his fingers. The invisible pressure that had caged me disappeared. Ow, bird. When I staggered forward, Leon hurriedly caught me in his arms. List. Yes? Like Leon said, you're the only one who knows the extent of your own pain and suffering. That said, one thing is clear. You did all this because you care about Leon. You didn't want your precious family to experience the same anguish as you. And so you tried to get your point across to him, even if it meant earning his hatred. The matter of whether your actions are right or wrong aside, I can tell that this is your way of showing compassion. Do you give everyone this much benefit of the doubt? Calling your kidnapper compassionate is... It's okay. Both Leon and I know you're a kind person at heart. After all, you had plenty of chances to harm me physically, but you didn't until the very last moment. You had plenty of other ways to demonstrate your point, but you chose a method where you would bear the brunt of the injuries. Sorry, bird. You're truly a hopeless fool. With that, List transformed into his beast form. Just as I reached out my hand to pat his head. List! He leapt backward before darting away like the wind. It's okay, Spacey. Another hand caught my outstretched one. Leon held my hand and slowly shook his head. Give him some space for now. I think he's pulled himself out of his darkest hour, and that's why you can't date this new mysterious character, because, you were like, who's this mysterious character? He was in love with a human and he's still in love with her. That's why you can't date him. Oh, okay. Makes sense! Valid. You didn't have to make him so damn pretty, though, but whatevs. Anyway. You sure? Yeah, thanks to you, I'm confident our feelings got across to him. And the rest is up to him. It might take a while before he comes to terms with things, though. He gave me a smile. The next moment... Ooh, I'm a bit tired after all that. He fell onto his knees. I hurriedly supported him and helped him sit up. You're hurt all over. We need to get back right now and find a doctor. Nah, I'm alright. It's not as bad as it looks. Once I get some rest, I'll be up and running again. Really? Really? Plus, what I want right now is to stay here a little longer with you. A date out in nature's pretty nice once in a while, don't you think? So, please? Though his phrasing was light-hearted, I could hear earnestness in every word. And so, after attending to his wounds quickly, the two of us sat down in the shade. Your injuries are already healing. What astounding resilience! On that topic, is List really okay? His wounds were much more serious than yours. You're seriously one of the kindest individuals I know. People usually don't worry about their kidnappers, you know? List's alright, I promise. His physical wounds aren't a problem. It's his mental state that's more concerning. But based on what I saw earlier, the worst case scenario probably won't come to pass. I see. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, but what about you? How are your injuries? Don't worry, I pretty much came out without any thanks to your protection. I showed him my arm with a small cut and told him that it wasn't any different from being grazed when tidying up shattered glassware. Hearing that, relief softened his features. That aside, I know there's some distance between us and the city, but would our little display have caused a commotion? Oh, no worries on that front. Vilio and Ion should be on the job. See? Leon? He keeps inching closer, I love it. Yeah? Is it just me, or are you slowly creeping closer? Oh, it's perfectly fine. I've asked the others to give us some privacy, so there's no one watching. I don't think that's the problem here. Leon let out a shallow sigh before resting his head on my shoulder. Sorry. Please let me stay like this for a bit. His expression is so pained. I was sure it wasn't from his physical afflictions, but from the bleeding gashes on his heart. Leon had fought against his only surviving family with all his might. He'd even declared to his own brother, who should have been more precious to him than anyone else, that he was the enemy. How could Leon not feel anguished after that? Seeing him cast his gaze down, I gently stroked his head. His eyes were warm and soft. He seemed content. He stayed that way for a while. Then I spoke on a whim. You know, before List abducted me, I was actually looking for you, Leon. There was something I wanted to ask. Oh? What is it? My hobbies? Things I like? If you're the one asking, I'll tell you Why did you say you didn't need an answer back then? Oh, he looks a little sad. Look at his little sad face. I cut through his joking words and facade, turning to look right into his eyes. If I were in your shoes, I would want my crush to return my feelings and find a special place in their heart for me, too. Whether you're a human or a Fenrir, it's only normal to wish for that, right? Is that not the case for you? I peered into his eyes and waited in silence. I didn't push him or insist. When he finally spoke up, his voice sounded as if his heart were being torn in two. I feel that way too, but a bigger part of me was scared. Scared? Once a Fenrir decides to give their heart to someone, our heart belongs to them until we breathe our last. Us Fenrirs and Meadows are our literal other half. We're so attached to them that we'll follow them everywhere, even in death. So romantically beautiful. Fenrir, too, a rare babies that seldomly appears in towns and villages. Due to their large size and strength, they are often feared by humans. They bear deep affection for their families and mates to the point that they will die of heartbreak should something happen to their life partner. You said that your dad passed away after your mom... Yeah, but that's not always the case for humans. No, for other races in general. After a short pause, Leon gazed at me with serene eyes. Despite the fact I still fell in love with you. Every time I spoke to you, every time I saw your smile, my love only grew. I'm sure that even in the next few hundred years of my life, I won't ever encounter another person I love as much as you. I'm not going to live for a few hundred years, so I can say this without a single doubt. You are irreplaceable. It was completely different from his past declaration of love, and it's so fucking amazing. You're irreplaceable. Ah! It's my heart. God. blue sky was cloudless. It offered no hiding places, and the emotions that spilled out beneath it made my heart pound furiously. I wanted to give him an answer right away. Couldn't wait. My lips parted, and I heard myself sigh. I wanted to spill to him, but at the same time, I wanted to listen. I wanted to know all his feelings. And so I weathered out my impatience, waiting motionlessly for him to continue. I don't want to shatter these feelings of mine. I want to stay this way. I want to be the Leon who's madly in love with you. The Leon with a scalding fire in his heart. Scared of that changing. And that's why you said you didn't need an answer? Yeah, the truth is that I'm terrified of your rejection. Pathetic, aren't I? That's why he ran away when we were thinking we kiss. He's like, oh my god, no, I can't kiss you because then what if you didn't want it and then I'd feel awful and then you don't really mean it and aw. But if you don't turn me down directly, I can keep smiling as if nothing ever happened. No matter what you think of me, I can keep loving you forever and ever. This almost makes everything sad, he's just in love with you and you before he was flirting with you and whatever, and you're fine, but now you're oh, he's fallen in love with you, and in the background you're in love with other people, and he's just, I'll love her forever happily over here by myself. He's the best friend route. He's the childhood friend. Right? He's really the childhood friend, but he's the one that gets that stuck in that shtick where he's been in love with you his whole life, or fucking forever, and you're just in love with other people, clueless that he's pining away in a corner. Oh, game. You know what? Maybe not having a Leon route was better. Just so we didn't feel so bad for him in every other route now. Oh my god. No, I'm enjoying the fuck out of this, though. It's good. They did a brilliant job. I mean, the first game was fucking amazing and I loved it, but this is good. This is fucking brilliant, too. God. Ugh. Even if you find your precious someone, and just knowing you exist in this world, just seeing you smile, is more than enough to make me happy. Oops. Sorry about that. I sound like a total weirdo, don't I? And feel free to forget everything you just heard. Anyone would be stumped if they heard something like that. I know, if I ever heard something like that, I'd be like, I know, I just died. It's okay. You can just act the same as always. And talk to me and treat me just like you did before. That's enough for me. Hearing that, I said, you're heartless. You're heartless? No! Is that really true? Is that really true? It was you're heartless is so mean. No, it has to be, is that really true? Okay. Are you really alright with that? Oh, that was second choice, right? So, yeah, okay, that's the last choice. Alright, I don't think we're gonna get the end here, because we're almost at time, so. But we'll get their end in our next part, probably. As long as your love remains for me, it's enough. What I think doesn't matter. If you say you're satisfied with just this, are your emotions really romantic love? If you claim you don't need me to return your feelings, isn't that closer to admiration or respect? That's not true. It is. If I occasionally pay attention to you, or if I wave at you, you're content, right? Leon, are you really happy with that? Because I wouldn't be. By now it was clear. As I gazed at the speechless man, I quietly reached out a hand. Hey, Leon, you're a scaredy wolf, huh? The moment my fingertips touched his cheek, Leon twitched and jolted. I mean, kind of got the little scaredy cat thing when he was going to kiss us. Okay. He's initiated physical contact with me countless times. When I reached out, he was frightened. He's timid, and when it comes to love, he's a scaredy wolf. He hides behind jokes, and he tucks away his true heart. Well, I mean, he's probably afraid of being rejected. Perhaps that was because he was a Fanfare, to whom the word love held heavy implications. Perhaps it was because he'd witnessed his own brother fall from the love of a lifetime to a pit of emotional despair. Either way, even at this very moment, Leon still desperately averted his gaze from his true emotions. That means there's only one thing I can do. Kiss him? Listen carefully, Leon. I faced the man, who continued to look away from me and spoke deliberately slowly. Is something wrong? Don't look so stern. It'll ruin your adorable face. Just kidding. I didn't give the man, who still tried to dodge the topic, the opportunity to slip away. I love you. I whispered the incriminating sentence and didn't leave any room for misinterpretation. Gaze that had swum restlessly in all directions landed on me and froze. Huh? Uh, what? Look at his little blushy face. Did you not catch that? Leon kept letting out incoherent noises, so I addressed him again. Pretty sure I said it clearly so you wouldn't misinterpret it in some random way. No, I heard you. I really did, but I think that was probably a trick of the wind. I heard the most absurd words ever. My friend Rear Ear's having some issues today. It wasn't a trick of the wind. I said that you're special to me in the same way, Leon. Huh? I remember you saying that just looking at me makes you happy. If watching me from the sidelines makes you happy, don't you think you'd be even happier if you become my lover? I love the fact that we're doing this and this man's gonna fall over and die. We are slowly killing this man the way Ginny has slowly killed us. How about it? I mean, of course I'd be over the moon if we ended up together, but, you know, it's not what you want? Of course it's what I want! Sheesh, this man is such a... I didn't know how to put it, but he was truly hopeless. He's kind of an idiot. but still, even after thinking about it, there's no way you'd ever fall for me. I'm struggling for the right words, but is this a dream? A daydream? Am I hallucinating or something? Seriously? Force kissed him. Okay, he's covered in blood and bruises, though, for the kiss. Like, come on. So are we. We're a little scuffed up, but like, oh, look at his little shocked eyes. I always figured I was the oblivious one. But to be blunt, I didn't even hold a candle to this man. It's kind of what was fun about it. He's such a troublesome guy. And so, listen, Leon. The moment I pressed my lips gently against his, Leon's body tensed up. These are my feelings. This is what my heart is telling me. Listen not to my words, but to my lips. At first he only trembled against me, but before long his lips pressed against mine, and he leaned into my kiss. Eventually I gently pulled away and gave him a small grin. Still can't believe this is reality even after that. I was sure I'd faint from embarrassment when I look back on this memory later on. But right now, in the moment, this is a piece of advice from a girl who was obsessed with an ordinary life, unable to move forward for a long time. Even if it's scary, all it takes is one step forward. The world will suddenly seem so much more radiant. That was a lesson I'd learned myself. I knew for a fact that my days with Circus made me shine more brilliantly. Spacey, you really... Come on, why are you blushing like that? You're the one who says love you all the time. I mean, this is... I'm too happy. Plus, you know, it's my first kiss and all. This is adorable. To be fair, we know damn well, like, we don't know if Ginny has ever kissed anyone, but we're definitely his first real relationship because he told everyone he hates women, so it's hard to go bang a woman and just be a random sexaholic or be a random man whore if everyone thinks you hate women. So, unless he had boyfriends and he's bisexual and we don't know about it and they didn't open that, but I figured they would have told us that. Ginny ain't as experienced as he's pretending to be, okay? So, like, this is adorable. Still, because at least he admitted it. Hey, don't laugh. I know that a cooler, more composed man might be charming, but still... No, you've got the wrong idea. I was just happy that we're the same. Well then, I've expressed my feelings. Unlike a certain someone, I'm the sort of person who wants a response. Can you give me your answer now? Are you against becoming my special someone? Leon sucked in a deep breath. Then he was ready. It's so funny because he looks so young right now. He literally looks our age. We look like we're in a high school drama. You know what I mean? We're playing a high school Otome game because he has such a sweet, innocent baby face right now. But, like, we know he's, like, way older than us. But, like, Fenrir's, like, mate for life. They fall in love. So, like, of course he wouldn't just be kissing random people. But it's kind of adorable because you're like, the man is old. And, like, he's just been waiting. It's just been waiting for my one true love in the nursing home. You know, so it's kind of even cuter, you know? Anyway, then he was ready. I'm not against it. I can never say no to you. I'm super happy. Glad to hear that. Someone help me. Happy. So happy. Hey, Spacey. Words won't cut it at all, so can I kiss you one more time? I want confirmation that what's happening right before my eyes isn't a hallucination or a sweet dream I'm having. Please? Aww. Before I could say of course, Leon leaned forward this time. It wasn't a gentle press of our lips like the kiss I'd initiated earlier. It was a heated, sweet kiss as if he was making sure I was here with him. Ah, gee, I'm so happy I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna be murdered by happiness. I can die with no regrets right here, right now. Out of the question. Live on, thank you. After all, I have plans on falling harder for you in our future, Leon. Ah, seriously? Why are you so cool? And then he's literally acting like a nerdy little 17-year-old, and it's so fucking cute. List had tried to teach me the terrifying side of Fenrir's. At his core, however, Leon was the most timid and devoted soul possible, wagging his imaginary tail. How could I ever be scared of such a man? I love you. I love you so much. His voice echoed, filling the entire expanse of the vivid azure sky, and I replied with yet another kiss. Okay. If we hit the credits, we'll just make this a long part and we'll do our little after scene. But if it goes to another scene, we'll end it. So we'll say credits. Okay. So this is just going to be a slightly longer part because we're going to do our little after scene. So. It had been a long, winding, and bumpy road. Leon and I had confessed our feelings for each other, and we could now officially declare that we were dating. Though we'd returned with almost no injuries, it seemed that we'd worried a lot of people. The moment we got back to our theater, Vilio and Ion gave us an earful. After that... That's it, you two look happy, so I'll let you off the hook. Indeed. When things calm down, please allow me to congratulate you with a toast. They'd likely figured out many things, and though a part of me had wanted to bury my face in my hands, I'd been elated when they readily congratulated me. Well, I guess Rady's the exception. He always seems ready to pick a fight when he sees Leon. The incident with List had also settled down somehow. Our days only got busier as we prepared for the big day of the ceremony. It took a whole 3 days after the incident before we finally found time for just the two of us. I'll see him today no matter what. After I'd finished work, I visited Cheers after operating hours. Can I ask... Can I ask you something, List? What might that be? Why are you here? What an odd question. Though I've been away for a while, Cheers is my home, remember? No, that's not the point. I'm asking you why you're happily drinking tea here. This batch of tea leaves was starting to get old. We can't serve them to guests, but I don't want to waste them, so here I am. I repeat, that's not the point! You gave off a stoic aura implying I'll go on a self-discovery journey for a while, but you're back in less than 3 days? I have gone on a journey, for your information. Here, I even brought back Kultura rice crackers as souvenirs. It's been a few years since my last visit. It was very lively. Apparently, the newly assigned sentinel, Zapolar, is it? Or someone along those lines. He's quite the accomplished man. He called him Zapolar. Took all I had to read that sentence fully and not crack up laughing when my eyes went over Zapolar. I was like, Zapolar? Zapolar, the name of the new sentinel in Kultura, according to List. It seems strangely familiar. I think I've heard that name somewhere before. like, she's not even like, you mean Zephora? Thanks for the No, that's not the point! Keep it down, Leon. Perhaps because he was in the presence of his trusted brother, Leon acted more childish than usual. Liz shrugged as he replied brazenly. Oh dear, your habits of throwing tantrums when you don't have your way hasn't changed. But I shall let it slide with a magnanimous attitude. I am your brother, whether I like it or not. Hey, Spacey, I was definitely not at fault now, was I? Leon clung to me. I placated him, stroking his hair and saying, Now. He's such a child. A thought occurred to me. Perhaps this was what their relationship had always been like, even before their parents had passed away. Seeing the pair fooling around with each other like close family, the corners of my eyes softened. But I'm glad we got to see you again. After you disappeared on that day, Liz, Leon's been worried about you. I mean, I guess. But I'm not a happy camper right now. Oh, no, that's Leon, sorry. I mean, I guess. But I'm not a happy camper right now. And hey, you have every right to be mad too. He's intruding on your precious private time with your dearest beloved. No, not really. Batesy! You are quite the reasonable one, I see. On that note, please allow me to apologize for my actions a few days ago. Injuring you was going too far, and I'm remorseful for my actions. Have your wounds recovered? Oh yeah, completely. That's good news. But please allow me to take a look just in case. No. Oh, that's not me going, that's him. By the looks of this, I won't leave any scar. He just got slapped. Leon smacked List's hands away before enveloping me in a tight embrace. He bared his canines and began growling at List in warning. Don't touch her, she's mine. Plus, you still like that girl, right? Well, I suppose I won't deny that. But by now she has long forgotten about someone like me. If you like her, go see her. Here, this is her address. Leon flung something at his brother's face. It looked like an age-worn envelope. List's eyes widened with surprise, and he was struck silent. How do you know her whereabouts? She came to Cheers in person a little while after you went missing. She said if List comes back, tell him I'm here. Hesitation overtook List's face. His expression was a conflicted one. Apprehension with a single shred of hope hidden within. That's actually kind of cute. So she was like, oh my god, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, I acted like an asshole. You know what? Okay, girl, I'll give you props. You acted like an asshole, but you covered yourself. You were like, I was an ass. I hope he forgives me. Good for you. He grasped the letter with shaky hands, and I spoke up gently. I think you should head over. But after everything that happened, like you said before, humans are puny, powerless creatures. I agree. Because of that, we're often intimidated by sudden events, and it's not rare for us to say thoughtless things in the heat of the moment. But it's our powerless nature that allows us to reflect on our actions, apologize, and change for the better. That's our forte. She left behind her address, so surely she has something she wants to say to you, or perhaps to apologize about, List. I think she's still waiting for you after all this time, even knowing you may never come back. Yeah, she's gotten like 10 years older. As I encouraged him, List looked up at the ceiling as if he was trying to swallow down his emotions. Thank you. I will consider it just a little. And with those words, a small smile softened his features. And this is not the first time I have thought this, but you are a wonderful person. In fact, it is almost a waste that you ended up with my foolish little brother. Hey! What do you mean by that? With a small smile, List left. Leon shooed his brother away and let out a heavy sigh. Aww. Sheesh. I chuckled and grinned at Leon before gazing at the entrance. You think he'll go see her? Yeah, probably. Right now I think he's still struggling to reconcile with his past. But I think he'll definitely head over sooner rather than later. His former partner is likely hoping for a reunion too. According to Leon, when List's former girlfriend had dropped off her letter, she told him something. On the day she enlisted come across the fiend, a fear she'd never experienced before had seized her heart. After she'd calmed down and thought back, she'd been perplexed. Why had she felt such irrational fear? That's what fiends do, right? That makes sense, actually. Wait, Were her words to List due to the influence of the fiend nearby? Fiends were monsters one would never come across in their day-to-day life. I'd heard that they had negative effects on the human psyche just by being in the vicinity. There was a chance that she'd blurted those words due to the fiend's influence. That's true, I didn't think about that. Because I don't remember much from the first game, to be fair. But yeah, I kind of forgot about that, the fiends and their evil influence and stuff like that, so. I think it's very likely. And that's not the only reason, of course, but I think it was one of the factors. But, well, she placed the blame on herself, saying she was responsible because she wasn't able to overcome her anxieties. Once List learns that, though, I'm sure they have a shot at mending their broken bridge. Yeah, it might be tough to cross the rift that's formed between them. But I'm rooting for him in the long term. I want my brother to find happiness. And I'd hate if the second chance at happiness didn't bear fruit. It's a big if, but if List ever starts wooing you, it'd be a nightmare. Oh, look at it. Oh, cute. Look at our little SCG. As if declaring he'd never hand me over to anyone, he wound his arms tight around me. I gently patted his hand as a wry smile came to my face. Come on, that's impossible. He was only teasing you the whole time. Nope. You're completely oblivious to how charming you are. I'm sure a lot of men will vie for your attention, but I'm never, ever letting you go. I'm the only one who's allowed to touch you or hit on you. Seriously. And hey, there's no need for you to hit on me now since we're together. Still, I don't want to see anyone else do that. Those privileges belong to me alone. Huh. You're pouting. Sometimes Leon acted really cool and dashing, like during a showdown with List. But other times he'd whine and sulk like a child. I could never get bored when I was with him. Our efforts from now on would decide the extent of our happiness together. And it was going to be a fun road from the looks of it. Aww, look at him trying to give us a kiss. He looks goofy. Right, one question, Leon. Why were you always so frivolous with me saying love you or you're adorable all the time? If you acted more grounded and sincere like you do with other female guests, I might have actually fallen for you faster, you know? I voiced the question that had weighed on my mind for a while. Leon blinked blankly as if he didn't understand. I mean, isn't it normal to treat your special someone differently from others? And that's what caused all of that? Well, at times I did think that I'd gone about it the wrong way. But looking back, I think my choice worked out in a sense. After all, I got to see all kinds of expressions on your face. You got mad, you were exasperated, you scolded me. Those were all reactions reserved for me alone. In a way, I managed to claim a special place in your world for the longest time. He's such a dork and I love it. Huh? Why the sudden silence? Did I act weird or something? I wouldn't call it weird exactly. You're more... beyond my comprehension? One thing was clear, however. I was willing to bet that Leon was a very, very troublesome guy. Hey, Leon? With another wry smile, I gingerly touched the arm wrapped around me. You don't have to worry about things like that anymore, okay? From now on, you are and will always be the most special person in my world. Leon sucked in a sharp breath. He buried his face in my neck and whispered in a voice so soft it nearly melted into the air. See, this is bad. I need help. What's wrong? So happy I'm about to cry. Feel free to cry all you want, but make sure to savor all your happiness too. I acted cold and aloof to you for so long. Wow. I acted cold and aloof to you for a long time, Leon. Make up for all that. I'll repeat it over and over again. I love you. Seriously? The arms around me gave me a big squeeze as his hold tightened further. He was careful not to hurt me, but at the same time he clung to me tightly with all his heart. It was a bit suffocating, but also pleasant. I relinquished myself to it, and the corners of my eyes softened. Hey, Spacey. Yeah? Can I kiss you? Yeah, go ahead. He raised his head from my shoulder and brushed his lips against mine. Gentle warmth landed on my lips like a fluttering petal. Oh, look at how sweet he looks now. The two of us stared into each other's eyes and exchanged smiles. Till only a little while ago, I would have never predicted that my relationship with Leon would have changed so dramatically. Hey, Leon, I was right, wasn't I? Even if it's scary, taking a step forward and being willing to change was worth it, right? Definitely. The advice as someone who traveled the world as a circus member is incredibly effective. Alright, I should make this clear too. Hmm? Leon stared at me in confusion, and I directed a brilliant smile at him. Thank you for your love all this time. I know it might be the norm for Fenrir's, but loving someone and staying in love with the same person is amazing in my eyes. So, I will love you forever and ever. I won't lose to you, Leon. This time there were no words. He kissed me hard, as if throwing all his overflowing emotions onto me. I welcomed his affection, which only grew by the day, with open arms. I spotted a single blooming chloris out of the corner of my eye, and a small chuckle escaped my lips. I should get him to make pancakes for me again sometime. I was sure that I'd bloom a chloris again, and as thanks for the delicious treat, I would give it to him. See, I love you so much. No matter how many times I put it into words, it's not enough. That's how much I love you. Yeah, love you very much too. I had to make up for all the affection that had slipped through my fingers until now. Faced with his direct, passionate love, I knew my love would continue to grow and flourish forever. I will be dead honest. This was a great-ass route. But that end bit, they got to the point you're like, oh, that's the end. And then they continued. And you're like, oh, that's the end. And then it continued. You're like, there was about 6 points that would have been the perfect end point for that. You're like, are we still going? Like, I think they dragged that a little bit on. Like, then we had a moment, and then you're like, oh. Like, you feel like that's the end. It's the perfect line. And then they come back, and you're like, oh. And then you read a couple more lines. We're still, okay. We're still, okay, we're still? Like, it's like they had a really great, they were like, do we end it here? Oh, we could do this, or we could do, let's just do it all. And it's like, you could have maybe toned that down a little bit. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm like, it was a little much. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It was just like there was 15 points where we could have ended. And you just kept going, and I was like, All right, hold on. Okay, 2, then nothing, then 2, then 2, then 4, then 2. Okay, we're gonna get messed up here, but I really hate that they... Listen, I love this game, but I will only give it a 9 out of 10 because this thing in the things where hitting the A button acts like a back button pisses me off to no end. And, look at his adorable little face. Oh my god, this one's really good. Okay, I'm gonna give the fan service, though, on this one. It's not a 10 out of 10, I'm sorry. You can't claim this as 10 out of 10 when Ginny was shirtless. You can't top that. That is a 10 out of 10. This would have probably been like a 9 out of 10. I think it's adorable. I like the CGs, but there's not this is not even in the same league of fan service as Ginny. Okay? I'm thinking CG wise. One's so cute. They did kind of slightly give him a little bit of more of a baby face. They gave him a little younger face. Because it was like maybe like 6 years ago or so. I can't quite remember. I think it was like 6 years before, but... Even Rady looks like baby Rady. He looks like a chibi. He's so cute. No, it was really good though. Leon's route was really good and it was adorable and I'm like, I enjoyed it. But I am very happy for the Leon stands, the people who were dying for a route with him. You know what I mean? Here you go. You got it. And I hope it was worth every moment for you because I don't want to be like, I'm not a Leon stan. I'm not. I mean, I liked him in the first game and I thought like, hell yeah, if we got a route with him, I totally enjoy it. I know I would. You know what I mean? If we never got one, I wouldn't cry about it. You saw me how I cried about Ginia. Okay, that was different. But getting one, it was very much worth it. And I think it was amazing. So I hope for people who were like, this is all I ever wanted was a route with my precious. that this lived up to all your expectations and exceeded them and made you feel like worth the wait. You know what I mean? To be fair, I had less complaints in this one than I did in Ginny's. Again, I mean, and well, okay. I mean, except for we had that moment with Leon, like, that's questionable that you were in love with a child. And it's like, okay, not like falling romantically in love. There was something you're like, I love this person. And like, okay. We kind of washed that under the bridge, but it was a little oddly worded. Or I'm just like, I just want to pretend. I don't know, but whatever. Oh. But yeah, so I think that was the fourth one. Yeah, okay. Let me have this one. Stop screaming, bird. We're almost done. We could have technically split this up and then had a 30. Well, we were already like 10 minutes over or whatever. So, the other part would have been short, so it's okay. Aww. I don't know. I mean, like, this one's adorable. Look at him. He's so precious in this. Okay, I'll be honest. His CGs are really good. Like, he looks beautiful in them. Okay, like, this one he's angry. Like, even this one, when it's like a younger one and he's just kind of like staring like emotionlessly, it's beautiful. And like, this one's precious. And like, I mean, okay, this one's a wolf one, so that one doesn't really like. Our lovely little kissy CG where he's like a little shocked. And look, he's a little blushing. Lovely. This one, oh. I gotta be honest, I think this one's my favorite. No, I like the first version of it when she's like grinning. I love the way he's looking at her. I think it's my favorite. He looks so beautiful in this. Just the way he's just kind of fawning a little. So, but anyway, yep, that was Leon's route. We will do his stop bird normal ending in the next part. That one's going to be short, like we saw with Ginny's. We don't have anything else to do after that because we already did the Alest and Calivus stuff. The only thing we might do, if we have time, if for some reason, as long as his one isn't like 40 minutes or something, is maybe this time we will go through and kind of scroll back through and see those other choices with when we go see Alest and we make tea and then we go to Calivus and we talk about speech. Maybe we'll choose the other choices there and just see what happens. Just pop in there those two options because I just kind of want to see what happens if we offer to help Alest with work. You know what I mean? I don't know. I might forget because I don't think I'm going to record the normal ending. I'll record it. It's a Saturday right now, and I normally don't record on Saturday. But again, I just did all of the other stuff yesterday, and then I was like, why don't we just do Leon's route before I go on vacation and just get it all done type of a thing. So I'm doing stuff I normally don't do on a Saturday, like I need the time off now because I'm going to completely burn myself out like with everything I'm doing. Oh my god. I just couldn't wait. I was like, it's only going to be a couple of hours. But yeah, I know I could probably spend the next 30 minutes, but I'm like, yeah, it's late. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it today, later. This evening, it's already 7 o'clock at night. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've put in the effort. I've gone above and beyond. I'll be able to catch up once I'm back. It'll be easy, but I'll be back by the time this goes up. But no, and I couldn't resist doing a list, and then you might as well do Calivus so you don't forget. And then I was like, but now we're in a good place, so I might have my lunch break on Monday to record, Leon's little end. So we'll see what happens. That was my intent, to just go back and do those other two little choices just for funsies. We're not going to do that in every route, and we obviously don't do that in every game we play where we go back and choose every choice. We don't do that because that's a lot, and that's very time consuming. But because Ginnia's like normal end only took like 10-15 minutes, it's like, we might as well spend an extra 5 minutes and go back through those and see what happens. And because we've done every other choice except for those two, so what the hell, But yeah, so we'll see what happens. I think those make a difference for the common route save file, because those give you points. So if you went to the common route save file and then you go down the Alest route or the Calivus end and you didn't choose those other options, then you wouldn't have points with them and it wouldn't do anything probably. It would probably put you on Ginnia or Leon, depending on who you had more like points with. So those are the quote unquote the bad answers for them, but I still might as well just see what happens. So anyway, we will wrap up and do that in the next part. So I will see you guys next time. I'm gonna zoom in. I don't want it to go gray because we've been sitting here for a while. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.